Hello and welcome to Cooking with Zio Agito. Why? Because why not? Today we're going to be working with eggs. Why? Because, well, today's an egg episode. Lots of eggs. But I can't get those fancy eggs, so we're working with Walmart eggs. So in case you can't tell, we're making some extra creamy omelets. Or scrambled eggs. Whichever ones. It depends on how well the flip goes. Let's see. Cranking up the stove, let's go ahead and add in a dash of olive oil. Get our eggs. Cracking in 1. 2. Can't forget that seasoning. Some cayenne. Bam! Yeah, we're going scrambled style this time, so let's go ahead and get this mixed up. Add some cheese. Maybe that's not enough cheese. You got a cream on it. Okay, I might have gone a little overboard with the cream. So more cheese it is. Y'all feeling veggies? Alright, mixing in the onions up in there. Now that's some consistency. Moving that over to the plate. Let's see the finished product. How much time has passed? What time is it? Okay, well, so much to eat, so little time as we take an intermission from all this lore. So, let's take the chillest review in a while with Monster of the Week action on this week's Don Bros. It's judging time in Iron Chef Japan this week, though limited to just one judge, none of which are Chairman Kaga. This woman is named Ida, so obsessed with eating something new and delicious that when left unsatisfied, she transforms into the Denjiman Hitotsuki. Eating up those who lack the ability to satisfy that hunger, she has no recollection of ever doing so, just waking up with a food baby afterwards. Since we had that one-off Tsubasa 2 weeks ago, now's the time for answers, right? Nope. Since while being interrogated on what happens, he admits that he has no idea who and how he was freed. He just was. Being believed by Auntie Cougar, he's free to go. His bounty's now been cleared and of course claimed by you-know-who, but not if his Juto self has anything to say about it, since messing up that first restaurant lands another warrant for his arrest. Hiding under a bridge, who else is there to spot him but completely sane normal guy Tsuyoshi? Though being cautious after the force feeding the other day, seeing that Tsubasa is right in the head, he tells him that he's got that bounty money. Totally didn't split it, but instead spent it on reservations at a fancy restaurant. I can give him credit that at least he was thoughtful on how to spend that money. Though Tsubasa initially rejects it, when Tsuyoshi mentions that his Miho is back, he gets interested. Taking him to the dollhouse, Tsuyoshi reintroduces Tsubasa to his old toy. But Tsubasa, taking note of just how mentally unstable Tsuyoshi has become, has decided to take him up on his initial offer. We now join Rumi, who just couldn't wait to get away from Jiro. Off to dinner time with the Don Bros, plus Jiro, are all here. Though what starts off semi-awkward just goes straight into lunchtime Jerry Springer. Tsuyoshi feeling alpha over Tsubasa, but the tug of imagination mental gymnastics regarding his delusions about Miho Natsumi got them at each other. Original Recipe Jiro shows up just wanting to throw hands with Taro, and Shinichi gets on Haruka's case about Sonoza, but she throws in that Sononi rejection right back at him. Spilling the wine, it's the head chef here to tell them to pay up and get out. The problem, however, is his cooking. Tsubasa's not messing around with this guy's over-seasoned, poorly cooked meat, and challenges the chef to a mental game of Iron Chef. So I guess it's called Mental Chef. Mental Chef, coming soon to Food Network. Getting off to the debate, it's the food critic Ida, here to say that they should put up or shut up with some real cuisine. Also, Tsuyoshi can't pay the check. Tsubasa decides to practice up with some omelets, inviting the bros over when Taro asks about Tsubasa. Wait, is it happening? Tsubasa questions Taro about how he knows about the Jutos, and we're really just gonna leave it at that? Huh? Revealing that he's got his knack for cooking from his daddy, looks like he's also got a case of daddy issues, since he's been on the run since the milk run went long. Letting everyone sample his dish, he knows that his eggs just aren't enough to satisfy this critic. Tsuyoshi, working off his dinner debt, gets the scoop from the head chef that he also needs those legendary huevos for his dish. These legendary, delectable eggs come from some random guy's free-range chicken farm. Though Shinichi is the first at the gate, an unexpected Sonoya rival lands there to get the last of the batch. Oh yeah, Tsuyoshi shows up too, in what is sure to become one of the wackiest in-suit brawls in the series, dueling it out over those eggs. But if you learned anything from the egg drop assignment in grade school, this is no bueno. The owner of the barn clearly has seen some shit before, since he doesn't care if they're in costume, he only cares about those eggs, feeling somewhat generous enough to give them his personal huevos. Finally, it's judgment time! Ida even lets the bros in on the food. Taro thinks it's pretty good, while Jiro is whatever on it. But Haruka and the others are just busting from this one. What's Judge Ida thinks? It's not enough! She wants something other than egg in her mouth, gobbling up the two of them and taking her ass elsewhere. Turns out that the Hitotsuki function like Juto, having their own pocket Helheim inside their bodies. Since Tsubasa and Chef Guy meet everyone else sucked up by this point, though being there so long without food, everyone's got the munchies. But lucky for them, they find blue-flavored Helheim fruit. Guess we're getting Invest up in here next week, right? Outside the DonBros take on the Hitotsuki when Sonoe and crew show up, as well as... Look, hear me out. I know she's in a suit, and there's some old guy in there. But it's been weeks! Galaxy Blade is gone. We won this bet. You right, we doing this. Meanwhile, Suit Noni... I've waited so long. The fuck? You did this to me, Zio, so now I am returning the favor. God damn! Duke it out with the DonBros when Sonoza unleashes the Murasame. But Don Momo cracks the air horn, transforming into Golden Momo and dealing a quick finisher to the... Oh yeah, Jiro saves his buddy from the blow, but the Hitotsuki is definitely down. With everyone freed, now Tsubasa gets taken into the fray. Because for some odd reason, Murasame keeps on fighting, feeling like he's finna bust. His mother lets him blow and turn into... CG Fest Black Oni Taijin again? So you know what that means, right? Yep. Terrible, low-textured CG fight. With that over, Tsubasa and Chef Guy make some blue food with those fruit, not realizing the havoc that they will unleash into this world's continuity. With Ida jumping in and finally getting off to her own fruit and just busting. Sonoe, now taking those legendary huevos to the Odin stall guy, finally gets his mouth filled and instantly busts so hard that he goes back into Noto space where Sonoe... Yes! Got a blast!
Awakening. Standing by.
And Sonoza are at. And just to continue this round of circle jerking, Jiro invites Taro to eat some of Rumi's food, of which absolutely busted, sliding out into the stratosphere. All this comes to a close when Tsuyoshi is about to do the same to his Miho when suddenly the real one appears. Oh, he's busting in something tonight, alright. Rating time. Look, I'd be lying if I didn't say that the ending of this episode ended up making up for some of the faults that I had, as I feel that this is the most lackluster Monster of the Week episode yet. But given how hilarious that ending was, mixed in with Natsumi Miho coming back to the Miho persona, this episode is gonna end up getting a Bustin' Bioman B. Bustin'. It is a general monster of the week that does screech the narrative on the last few episodes to a near halt. The story inviting Ida? Though we got some insight into Tsubasa's childhood and his dad. This will probably, likely, surely, absolutely play no part in anything that's going to happen. Probably. That's just how unpredictable DonBros is. Though I like how they played up how the forest in the other world does end up looking a lot like Helheim in Kamen Rider Gaim, since they just had the after effects lying around in their stockpile and played the bit with recolors of the fruit from the same series. Gaim crossover, anyone? Nah, that's not gonna happen. Or is it? I don't even know with this guy sometimes, so it could even be a possibility. The real deal here comes with Miho returning at the end of the episode. The thing is, with the Crane Juto revealing earlier that Natsume's dream was to have a quiet, simple married life, it's easy to see why she would snap back into this persona. As the life we saw her live as Natsume was probably not the life that she asked for, but had to deal with. The thing is, I still see people that think that the real Natsume will end up with Tsuyoshi at the end. But unless when the Juto gets defeated, all their new memories go back to the original Natsume, I don't see that happening. That's totally going to be the case, isn't it? We really have to wait and see how the plot between the Noto and the DonBros plays out. Because if there isn't any proper team building happening in the coming weeks, then I can't see the ongoing shipping of Tsunoni and Tsubasa playing out. Sure, there's some scans showing a team up, but this has been on and off between the Bros and the Noto now. So unless we finally get revelations that force their hands to team up, like the Penguin Juto guy that originally took Natsume end up showing up finally, I just don't know. Next week though, we get a Don Momo clone and Black Kaito talking to Jin. Will this be the final build-up? Clock's ticking it, and all I can say for those of you going like, why don't we know anything yet? Welcome to Toshiki Inoue style. If you watched any of his previous Kamen Rider works, he generally leaves this relatively unknown until the last 4 or 5 episodes. And since we don't know the total episode count DonBros will be, I think, then we still have a few more weeks to go until proper endgame gets set up. So, what did you all think about this week's Iron Chef? Bros Edition. Tsuyoshi dropping the doll for the real Miho, and everyone just busted. Anyway, that's it for me. I guess Blaster Mode really is just an inverted color, huh? Either way, the juice is loose and we keeping it. Until next time, bye.